The average cost of the typical family summer holiday is now over £2,000. So in this video, we're going to look at how to save on things such as your travel money and your travel insurance. And then we look at the hotel websites that you can save money on and how to avoid the rip-offs on car hire. First things first, before you set off on holiday, you have to sort out your travel money. Now, the golden rule with travel money is never, ever change your money at the airport. You will get the worst possible rate, so don't do that. Now, one thing I do like is a website called travelmoneymax.com, here it is, where you can put in the amount of money that you want to change, and it will search out the best provider amongst the bureau de change and the banks, and you can get the money delivered to you beforehand. When you arrive at the airport, you put your debit card in the cash machine or at the holiday resort and you get your money out, you are losing 5 to 6% of your money straight away. It's a disaster, it's a terrible way to lose money. Now, there is a way around this. There are a couple of credit cards. Principally, the best one is the Halifax Clarity credit card. The good thing is that it has no foreign exchange fee, so you get your money when you're spending it in shops, restaurants and so on. You're not paying these 2, 3, 4, 5% fees. If you're a customer of Nationwide Building Society, they have something called the Flex Current Account. If you use your debit card from that current account when you're on holiday in Europe, you get it at around about half the price that people who are customers of Lloyds or NatWest pay. Finally, when you're in a shop or a restaurant and the assistant shows you the machine and says, "Sir, would you like that converted into sterling?" It's something called dynamic currency conversion. All the shops and retailers love it because they get given some of your money. Just say no, I'm happy to have it in euros. If you're just heading for a weekend to Paris or Barcelona, buying a full travel insurance product is a waste of money. Instead, what you need is an EHIC card. That's your European Health Insurance card. You can get them very easily. Just go onto the NHS website. They're free. Don't be fooled by those sites that try to make you pay for them. It covers you for the same sort of things that a person in that country, in France, say, would get off the French NHS. But if you're going outside of the EU where the EHIC doesn't apply, particularly if you're going to the USA, then you have got to have travel insurance. Now, you know the drill. Go onto a website such as travelsupermarket.com. There, compare the market. Don't go for the really cheap ones. They're not really worth it. You'll save a £5 or a £10, but when you come to claim, they won't pay out. If you're older or if you have a pre-existing medical condition, then your travel insurance will cost you more, but it's pretty important you get it sorted. Have a look at an organisation called EHIC Plus. What it does is it covers the bits that the European Health Insurance card doesn't cover. And the crucial thing about it is that it doesn't have an upper age limit. So even if you're 100 years old, you can get travel insurance. If you have a pre-existing condition, the trick here, I think, is to go to the organisation that covers your condition. Say, for example, you have diabetes. Diabetes UK has a specially tailored travel insurance policy for people with diabetes, and it only costs a few quid more than a standard policy. I could talk all day about how to get the best flight, but I think there's a few specific tips. Firstly, flying out on a Friday, coming back on a Sunday, we all want to do it, which is why it's flippin' expensive. If you can go out on the Monday or the Tuesday, and you can come back on a Monday or Tuesday, go out the Thursday, come back the Monday and Tuesday, you'll save something like 35 to 40%. Now remember, there are more budget airlines than just Ryanair and EasyJet. Now a very good site to go on is skyscanner.net. Put in where you want to go and it will tell you all of the airlines flying there. So go onto Skyscanner and then play around with the dates to get the best deal. Of course, don't forget the trains. It's unlikely you're ever going to get a £1 to Spain on a train, but there are some decent deals. And the place to go to is the Man at Seat 61. This is an absolutely terrific site. It's got every country in Europe, how to get there, the cheapest way to get there, how long it's going to take, the timetables. It's just fantastic. It's worth looking at the secret hotel deals. Now, these are the ones where you don't actually know the name of the hotel but it will tell you enough details about it, where it is, whether it's 4-star, 5-star, and by a little bit of sort of looking around the internet, you can often make a pretty good guess as to who it is. The big provider in Europe is lastminute.com. Equally, if you're looking for hotels outside of Europe, I would really recommend Hotwire, very good in the US, and have a look at priceline.com as well. Of course, you don't have to stay in a hotel. There are lots of other options these days. If you own your own home, something I particularly love doing myself is home exchange, where you go over to their house in New York and they come over to your house in London. There's a site called homeexchange.com, but lots of other ones that you can go onto. It costs you about 50, 60, 70 quid a year to sign up for these. You pay nothing at all for your accommodation. The big new thing in the travel market, the thing that everybody's talking about, is a site called Airbnb. That's where you can obtain rooms and apartments at really bargain prices. It's very easy to sign up, find a place to stay, as they say, in 38,000 cities. There are probably two areas where it's most likely you're going to be stung on holiday. One is car hire, the other one is your mobile phone. Now with your car hire, the key thing is making sure you don't pay for this absurdly expensive Super CDW cover. Before you go onto one of these websites such as iCar Hire Insurance. There you can buy a policy that covers you for this excess, and it will cost you something like £30. Now when it comes to your mobile phone, the two important things to remember: you must turn data roaming off, otherwise the bill you get when you get home can be hideous. The second thing is, if your phone is stolen and it is used while abroad by the thief, you are liable for the bill. Finally, do remember that The Guardian has got an enormous resource of travel information, from city guides through to videos, through to readers' tips. So just click on to guardian.co.uk, go to travel, and it's a fantastic resource.